Hello, everybody. You can call me Hunch. Everything I say here is not financial advice. If you're new here, I'm a huge Stacks bull and Bitcoin DeFi guy. I only endorse Bitcoin DeFi, but I do talk about other things. Sometimes they're very successful theoretically. Other times they're not, or they're just flat. This is a case study. Okay, please do not invest in these markets. Please use a certified financial advisor or do your own decision making regarding your investments. This is all just for fun, and it's basically a case study for this bull market, and it doesn't mean anything other than that. I'm not giving you any advice. I would never urge you to use a market. Please use regulated markets. But we're talking about Bitcoin DeFi and some other things too, right? And we've been right on some other things, like some Ornj projects. We've been right about a couple AI plays. We've been flat on a couple AI plays. But for the most part, we've done well, right? We've made huge gains in Sovereign, theoretically. Arcadico, Alex, Stacks is up massively. Ornj was up huge when we talked about it. So I think I've done pretty well for you guys. Could you have made more gains other places? Sure. It's very hard. I think there's a lot of AI plays to pick. And that's why I'm just getting to AI now, right? I've given up a lot of gains. Oh, we've been right about a lot of memes, right? Pepe, huge, massive gains on Stacks that we've been talking about. We've been talking about Welsh for a long time. Massive gains. Okay, so we've done well and we've stayed focused. It's very difficult to well, right? You want to trade a lot, please be careful about trading. There's the fees on Ethereum are out of control. But we're going to be talking about AI plays again today, some of the Bitcoin DeFi, do some review of the Stacks plays. But first, we're going to be talking about El Salvador and how everybody was doo-dooing on El Salvador for years, how they had made a mistake, right? 2 years of Bitcoin, El Salvador, an opaque experiment, right? It lost 37%. They're criticizing them. They got all this hit piece after hit piece after hit piece. Now they're not really calling out the success of it when really they're making massive profits if they were to sell. It's revitalizing the country, the morale, right? If you don't see that and you want to just say, oh, it's not about Bitcoin, right? I don't know what you're talking about. You're clearly not paying attention to what's going on there. Now, I don't know if the statistics are true about crime rates and all that, but it seems to be legitimate. So we'll see. Something bold came out today. I said the world is moving away from the dollar, hyper-Bitcoinization. Now, if you've been here with me for a while, I've been advocating the only way to save the dollar, basically, which is to build the dollar on Bitcoin and get the euro dollar system over here in the United States. I don't know how you feel about the Fed, but we have a controlled yield curve, which is basically the time value of money, what people will get paid for lending money, so on and so forth. And overseas, they have a free market. I think these two are at odds with each other, and it's going to cause a blow up, right? People have their interest overseas. We have our interests here. Dollars come flowing out. We destroy a lot of economies or pillage the resources because of this. That's what I tend to believe. Now, I could be wrong about that. Some economists may think we benefit them. So it's all about perspective and what you know. So I'm not saying I'm right. But this basically happened today, right? And this is just kind of a jab, I think, at the dollar. I don't think it's anything more than that, right?
Congratulations.
The Saudis are going to shake hands with Bukele, right?
Thank you very much.
Some type of deal is going on, okay? Whether that's Bitcoin mining or just overall the culture, right, of what's going on. This is significant, right? Saudis have not been hostage, right? They've greatly benefited from their oil. But everything is done in oil, is traded in dollars. So I think this is very significant. This is more of a cue or a clue towards a more sustained Bitcoin bull run, maybe even a higher bull run. I'm not sure. I'm not calling for that yet. But this is a very interesting piece I think people should pay attention to. Okay, so when did I make this video? 2 weeks ago, I made a video about Palm AI. I was talking about how I don't know which AI plays to pick. I'm pretty confused, right? There's so many. I think it's very difficult to make money. But I ended up going with this for the simple reason that they were using revenue sharing model, which I think is important, right? Because you want to, if you're going to invest in something, you want to be compensated, right? You want to have ownership, right? This is what this all is about, right? Maintaining your private property rights, right? I mean, this is what it's all about. I think it's very interesting. And they're doing an AI chatbot with Google, right? So I thought Google, okay, people are going to just throw money in this because of Google. They don't even know what's going on. Right? Maybe there is some legitimacy behind the project and partnerships and stuff like that. But to me, the investment thesis is simple. And a lot of people think this is funny, but it's not funny. Crypto works this way. Google is the most hated AI play in terms of because of the wokeism in their basically equivalent Chat GPT or Gemini. They got a bunch of flack for that. Now, I'm not picking sides with that, but the point is you want to do the counter trade to it. So if it's the most hated in TradFi, it's probably going to be the most liked. Hold on one second. Probably going to be the most liked in crypto. Okay, so that's basically the thesis. They have partnerships. They're also doing things with NFTs. If you go through those partnerships with the Scale Network, so on and so forth. So you could see, I mean, this video is at 45 cents. Okay, now Palm is up to $1.36. At the bottom here, about a month ago, it was at 12 cents. I mean, it's a massive 2,000% in the month. 30 days, it's, you know, up over 200% since I started. Is it over? Yeah, it's over 200% since I started talking about it 2 weeks ago. So this was the AI play I picked. So there's proof if you think I'm a horrible picker, right? I don't do everything right. Another one I picked, though, look, I'll admit to it, is Astrox, and this has just been flat. It's not going up. It's not going down. I interviewed them. You know, a lot of people think this is a rug pull because they have a tax on the investing in it and so forth. I interviewed them. They said that was because they have to pay for the API on Twitter to make a chatbot to get all that data. So interesting. You know, I'm not convinced it's a rug. I'm not convinced it's a legitimate project. I just think it's interesting, and I'm bringing you the facts. It's enough for me to make a small theoretical investment if you are into AI and data, but, you know, not my main theoretical thesis. Sorry about that. But Palm AI, definitely, if I had an AI thesis, this would be in it, okay? So let's see. Here it is. Yeah, so here's the revenue share model. They are doing it, you know, whether they're just paying you a percentage of the fees they take or something, or if it's like, you know, a rug pull, who knows, right? But all these guys are being talked about on these different YouTube channels. So there's two things that can happen here. They're legitimately picking up these projects just now when I called it 2 weeks ago, or they decided that they needed some KOLs or influencer and they paid them in tokens. They pumped it, right? And now it's pumping. So regardless, I do think there's some legitimacy behind this project. They are, oh yeah, see, she's definitely a paid show, I feel like. It's crazy. So you have to be careful, but I do think what they're offering is interesting. NFTs, AI, they're hitting all the things. They're doing partnerships, right, to mint cheap NFTs, so on and so forth. So please be careful, but I do think this is an interesting AI play, right? I think it's almost impossible to pick the right AI play, right? Maybe if you're going to invest in AI, just put it in BitTensor, right? That's clearly one of the winners for AI. But this one I like. I think it will continue to pump. I think the chart looks absolutely bonkers, right? Let's see if we have a 7-day chart. I think this is just like up only. You know, you could argue that this flag might break down, this upward wedge. I think it continues to run if the market continues to run. I don't see why not. I think degenerates love Google. I think they love the idea of AI. I don't see how this doesn't continue to pump. It's only at 100 million, right? If you're a big time AI play, you could go to billions, right? So interesting. I think you should look into it if you're into AI. Now, let's talk about Welsh. Let's talk about stacks, everything, right? This is part of the signal here, right? This is good. 1 million unique wallets on stacks. Shout out to Signal21 for this information. Absolutely blowing up. And I said, AKA Welsh is a high levered beta on the shared hallucination of money rooted in the physics of layered Bitcoin. So I know that sounds crazy to you, but right, physics is backed by energy, physics, you know, all that type of stuff. Right, money is obviously a shared hallucination. We currently use fiat money, Bitcoin money, money on top of Bitcoin, right? And so if Bitcoin is the choice, if stacks is the smart contract layer for that hallucinated money, I don't see how Welsh, the first meme on Bitcoin, right? Beautiful marketing, great narrative, right? If you continue to fade this, I mean, I think it's absolutely crazy, right? Not Bitcoin DeFi, but I would make this almost a part of it. Now, there are risks to that, right? Today, we had a huge liquidation sale, right? We had a whale that dumped tons of it, right? Right here, like 80-something million. The market absorbed it, right? And let's look it up. I mean, you could almost probably see the wick on here if we go to it here. So only 8% down on the day, but we had this like massive wick down. This dude just dumped 84 million shares of this. So definitely at risk, right? And I'll show you that here in a second, right? If you go to Welsh, the chart, you know, looks okay to me. We had a recovery, could go down, but if you go to holders, right, a lot of these holders, the top one, I don't know if this is MEXC, huge balance, 18 million Welsh. That could be MEXC, right? What do we got here? 3 million Welsh. So any of these people at the very top have an absolutely, they have the ability to crash Welsh. Now, that doesn't mean anything really, though, because this chart, which is Alex, which looks absolutely ready to pump to the heavens, I feel like, right, it keeps retesting this line. If it breaks through, I think we're going to absolutely pump, right? But if you go to the holders, right, the top holder, which is maybe an exchange or Alex itself, right, they've got $73 million worth of Alex. So they could essentially take down Alex in one felt swoop, right? I mean, that's probably over half the market cap. So this is probably the case with almost every play, right? So this does shed light on, you know, the lack of decentralization in terms of going around. Hopefully over time this product is successful and the shares, you know, get distributed amongst all the investors, but you never know. So a lot of risk. So I think it's going to pump though. Arcadico absolutely looks like it's ready to send as well. So these are all looking like they're absolutely ready to send, right? Stacks is obviously growing. It's a huge winner. It's right behind the Solano, right? Solano keeps pumping. What happens after Solano pumps, right? If we look up Solano, they went like a 10x, right? And then right behind it, which was the number 2 performer, was Stacks. So I think we're getting ready, right? Stacks had a huge dump. We came back to 290. Let's see if we can get to Stacks and see what the chart looks like real quick. Stacks tools. Tools.io. It probably looks nice. Okay. Probably. Oh, what? Oh yeah, here's the chart. Okay, give me a minute. Okay, so yeah, keeps retesting. If it can break through, I think we're good. I think this is obviously one of the winners of the cycle. Now, ooh, I didn't see that. This does look like a bear flag, a bit of a bear flag. So be careful here. I do think we continue up. I think that's a bit of a fake out. It depends, though, on Bitcoin, right? But that is a bit of a bear flag. I just noticed that. So be careful, use discretion. I will not be exiting because I see a bit of a bear flag right there. Okay. Now, I've been talking a lot about Ornj, right? Clearly, I've been right about getting out of Sovereign, right? Because Sovereign has been absolutely down only. I love Sovereign. I think they will be successful, but like they're just in this downward descending wedge. They need to break out of it. They need to release the product. We called this at the Pico bottom, and we almost called it the Pico top, right? I said since like 205, you know, this is not good. This is time. I love Sovereign. I love what they're doing with getting the dollar, but they need to release Bitcoin OS. They need to make the wallets better. They need to make them easier. So I called that going down. Now, one place where I may have made a mistake, and I don't know for sure, but is in Ornj. But, you know, this startup, which is a wallet, is raising money, right? And so I tweeted today, Ornj, I'm begging you, release the wallet. So what Ornj is doing is, which I'm a huge fan of, we call about this at 10 cents. And this is all documented with my YouTube videos, okay? I called it, they have not, released a full product. You know, they keep giving us answers like they're going to release the code on GitHub. There's nothing on GitHub. They want to have it reviewed. They keep having different partnerships, right? They're giving different products like staking. What else? The partnership with this 10 BRC20, right? But there's no, right? Oh, here, yeah. Ornj Marketplace is launching, which is basically like stackstools.io. But there's no wallet. Like my initial thesis on this was DeFi, right? But this is pumping, right? Whether it's pumping, whether the people who created the product are buying it back, or people saw a discount and want to buy it. And it does look like it's in this nice range, right? And maybe you break out. So if you're between the two, Sovereign and this one, maybe you stay in this one. I don't know. You know, I'm not saying I'm completely out of it theoretically if it was part of a theoretical portfolio. I do think it has a lot of potential, but I mean, the proof's in the pudding, baby. I've been saying it. I still like it. Please don't criticize me for this. I mean, obviously, you can do whatever you want. I still like it. I criticize the things I like the most, like Arcadico. I criticize for years. Stacks, I criticize for years, right? I said, you got to be able to use native Bitcoin, right? Now SBTC is coming out. I said, Daiko, you got to repeg the USDA, right? Blah, 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 blah. I mean, this is all documented. People have been here for a long time. So I love Ornj. I'm not trying to shit on Ornj, honestly, but I've got to see the product. Wait, we need the product because I can't make a decision on this thing. I don't want to miss a pump. I don't want to be in it if it dumps. But like, I just feel like they're keeping us in this weird ether area. I don't know if anyone else feels like that. But anyway, I've got a hunch, and my hunch is Palm AI, so you can call me Hunch. Palm AI, absolutely pumping nonstop. What's going on with that? Anyway, talk to you soon.